welcome to the I Ching Cafe. My name is Belinda Dubston, and it's wonderful that you are here with me for our annual I Ching forecast for 2025. We are here. We made it. Okay, so in this episode, we're going to have two parts to how we're going to unpack. The first one is we're going to look back to 2024, and I ask the question, as I do every year for the annual forecast, what was our focus of learning for the year that has passed? What do we need to take out of that learning? I cast the coins for that question. We go through that. We kind of work through it quite quickly. And then we go into the main question of the episode or the forecast is what should we focus on more than anything for the whole of the 2025 period? Okay. What you can do if you are on YouTube or if you're on the podcast, there are time codes in the description, all right, on both. And also on YouTube, you can slide across the chapters on the bottom of the episode if you would like to skip ahead to a particular section and come back to it later in the year. Okay, so if you enjoy reconnecting to the annual overview on a regular basis, you can come back to it. You can skip the learning from 2024, head straight into the part you need for 2025. Okay. All right, let's get into it. So what was our focus of learning? And you would notice that I skipped talking about what the I Ching said our focus for 2024 was, because as these beautiful ironies, these synchronicities happen, the answer to the question, the first hexagram that came up for this question of what was our focus of our learning last year? Hexagram 23, stripping, splitting apart. Okay, so right here we have this beautiful synchronicity of all the possibilities as I'm casting the coins, all right? As those lines are working themselves out, that we would have exactly the same hexagram, right? The same hexagram we wrapped up a few weeks ago, ringing in the end of 2024. So let's get into it. All right, so stripping, as you know, okay, we had stripping locked last year, all right, the whole year. The year, our focus point was on finding ways to cut back the old and outmoded in our thinking, in our living, our working, our behaviors, our choices, to think of our life as this beautiful tree, a fruit tree, cherry tree or an orange tree. You choose what kind of tree is your tree. And we were out with our shears and we were pruning the tree, all right? We were cutting back branches and things that were dead and done, allowing the tree to concentrate its energy into its core so that when spring comes, poof, all those beautiful blossoms can pop because the energy is focused within the tree. And so we were pruning like crazy last year. Perhaps your life was helping you prune. And by that I mean circumstances and situations coming to cut out what is old. Sometimes when we hold on to things for a very long time, right, they get very heavy and they're pushed down, and they threaten to collapse our structure because they are weighty and the structure hasn't yet been fully developed. It's not enough scaffolding to prevent that collapse. And so collapse comes wherever we face those types of collapses in our life. This is what hexagram 23 is bringing us, an opportunity to let go of the old. And where you found this hexagram working through your life last year will be areas where is a collapse, okay, it's an unraveling. And when you think about it after the fact, once everything is calmed down, and you look at it and you think, gee whiz, the only way that was going to get removed from my life for my highest good was if I was forced, because I was holding on to that. I didn't realize it was such an old thing that I was holding on to for dear life. And the forces of change bring that change, whether we like it or not, to remove it. Okay, we get a wake-up call, we get shaken out of our ruts, and we have to redo things, rethink things, allow the process of pruning to let go and kill our little darlings, as Stephen King says. We have to release those things that were precious to us before, that have now become a little bit of a curse, a little bit of a burden. We have to find ways of releasing that energy. And very often, those things that we are releasing are our thoughts, our feelings, our belief systems around what our world means, okay, what things mean, and all the weird and wonderful stories we come up with to interpret those worlds, okay, which very often are not what's really going on, okay. They are erroneous. And so the energy comes to clear that out. If you were working hard at it, you would feel a sense of lightness coming to the end of the year and working through the process. Okay, look, Hexagram 23, locked last year, and now we have it as our key learning, is heavy stuff, okay? It's intense, it's hectic. And I think for a lot of people, 2024 felt like that. It felt very heavy, very intense, very like unending. People just looked exhausted every time I came across someone who'd been working with themselves in the year. They were just, whoo, that was hardcore. Okay, so we had 23 locked. Our learning from last year was learning how to prune. And in particular, with changing line 4 associated with the question of what was our learning from last year, where should we have focused our learning, part of changing line 4 is also saying is to not over prune. Okay, I'm sure you've all seen a movie or you've experienced it where you've given someone the job of pruning your beloved trees in your garden if you're blessed to have a garden, and they go wild. Okay, they don't just prune back the ones that need to go. They just hack everything to a stump. Okay, and part of our learning last year was taking those shears and finding just the right balance of what to cut, what to leave, how much is too much, how much is too little, and not going so far and obsessed into cutting everything out that we cut out the good stuff. Okay, we cut out the things that are actually really important and vital to us. Okay, so the changing line says part of our learning was learning of not doing it too far, going too far into the kind of manic cutting back of things, just doing enough to free up your energy and let go of that old energy. So I have a second hexagram then, of course, for our insight around what we were learning, and that's hexagram 35, wonderful, easy progress, the sun rising over the earth. So learning not just the pruning, but also learning how to make our way, how to keep moving forward and be in a natural flow of progress. Perhaps if we've done our pruning really well last year, okay, not too much, but we did enough, okay, we would have started to see the fruits of our labor starting to move up through that progress. Okay, progress through cutting back and stripping back what is no longer needed. So let's look to 2025. Okay, so we've got the learning, and I really encourage you to take the insights from last year. Take 23 stripping. As I've said before, make a list of all things you cut out. Make a list of all things that you should have cut out, okay, because there's still time. And reflect on what was 2024 coming to bring you. What did you need to let go of? What needed to be stripped back? What needed to be pared back? Because 23 is also about lack of resources, having to make a little, go very far, having to find ways of making your ends meet, okay? Making it all work with very little, right? So part of that process is also about what's important. What do I cut back? Because I can't do everything. I don't have an infinite amount of time. I don't have an infinite amount of resources. I've got to be clear on what I'm focusing my energy on, and everything else gets cut. Okay, but not too much. Okay, so 2025. We have this year again a locked hexagram. So last year we had locked 23 stripping, okay, which means one focus area for the year, okay, not lots of changing lines and dates and all kinds of transitory energies flowing throughout the year. One piece of advice that the I Ching is giving us to pay attention to and focus on for the whole year. And I'm delighted to share with you that it's hexagram 11, peace. Totally different energy to 2024. Okay, if we were to summarize years by these hexagrams, complete opposites. 23 is about austerity, cutting back, pruning the tree, concentrating that energy, all right, pulling back from all the extraneous things that we have our energy in, and bringing that sap in the tree right back to the core. And here we have hexagram 11, okay, we've pruned, we've cut the tree, And this hexagram is all about flowering. Okay, the flowering tree. Okay. Don't let the word peace cast your mind off what this hexagram is really about. This is not, peace. Okay, we hope that this hexagram also floods the leaders of our world, our communities, our families, that peace reigns supreme on planet Earth in 2025. But this hexagram is not just about peace on Earth. It's about the flowering profusion of all things wonderful, fertility. I think it's just amazing that we had hexagram 23, which is all about pruning the tree back, preparing for spring, letting the tree burst forth. And here we have, locked in 2025, the bursting forth. Okay, lovely. So the trials and tribulations of last year will be worth it. I affirm that for you, you see this hexagram, 11 peace in everything that you do. What is it calling us to do? Okay, we look at the structure of the hexagram. We have earth on the top, which sinks. We have heaven on the bottom, which rises. And the two merge and come together in the center. Okay, there's a harmony. If we had them the other way around, we have heaven leaving and moving up, and we have earth sinking. That's hexagram 12, stagnation. Okay. And so what we have here is a energy of moving together. Heaven is on earth. Okay. And there's this energy of an opening, a portal of energy, whatever you want to call it, a lining up, a flow, the opportunity to tap into fertile flow of wonderful energy to work with, and an energy that brings generosity, that beautiful idea of the flower opening up and welcoming the bees. Okay, we have done the hard work. May that be gone in 2024. We've done all the stripping. Okay, and wherever we've done that stripping really well, there's this fertility. Okay, we can tap into flowers, and petals, and plants, and blossoms, and bees everywhere. Okay, so it's a hexagram that is calling us to lean into this flow. It's about recognizing that there's this kind of gateway that's opened up, right? This ability to tap into this energy. Our focus is to tap into this energy. If there is anything that you wanted to bring into the world, a book you wanted to write, a play you wanted to write, clothing you wanted to make, relationships you wanted to develop, whatever it is, okay, there's an opportunity in 2025 to lean into this beautiful energy where the portal is open, okay? We have to be in flow. All right, so this is not an energy. We go and we wrestle. Okay, this is not a male energy. We go and we line ourselves up with the portal and we go, breathe it in, okay, the flower. We are like flowers that are opening, okay? And so this whole year, our focus is on being these beautiful blossoms that are opening to sunlight, opening to bees and insects, opening to pollination and fertility, and just aligning with this flow. It is a beautiful hexagram. It's very special to me too because, as I've shared with you before, when I suspected I was pregnant, I asked the I Ching, am I pregnant? And I got this hexagram locked. And I was already, a couple of months pregnant. So it's a wonderful hexagram of like when the world lines up and everything lines up and heaven's on earth, there's a fertile energy of peace and alignment, of flow, of energy, of opportunity to bring onto earth ideas from heaven. And this is the time when your special idea that is yours to work with this year can, okay, like the seeds that have got their own little wing. Okay, you got to be open and ready, okay, to catch them. And that's what this year is about. There's a wonderful opportunity for us to catch the magic. I have told you before that I've been reading the book by Elizabeth Gilbert, Big Magic, and it's kind of like that energy. This hexagram brings that opportunity to be open and arms wide, generous with our time and our care, open to being in flow, and allowing that flow to move us forward. Okay, we don't wrestle with it and force the flow. We open ourselves to the flow and align with it and just let the magic happen. Let the fertile profusion manifest. Don't fight it. Just let it happen. So I am really looking forward to this year. Of all the hexagrams it could be, this is one of my absolute favorites. And I affirm for you that your year is filled with not just peace, blessings and fertile energy and creative flow and joy, and most importantly, the generosity to be there and to work with that flow, to give that flow energy and give it your commitment and to share that with others. Lean into it. Open wide. Be open and receptive in 2025. Thank you so much. I look forward to a year of interesting hexagrams with you as we traverse 2025 together, as we grow together, because that's what this whole process of the I Ching is for me, and I trust that it is for you too. Up next, very soon, our January 2025 overview as we start knuckling down into the detail, into working with the year as it gets going for us. And so, if you liked this episode and it was valuable to you, a thumbs up. Of course, if you are new to the channel, please do subscribe to get the episode straight into your app. Remember that little bell. And for the podcast, hit the follow button. So until then, I'll see you soon at our January 2025 episode where we get stuck into the year. We start unpacking the nitty-gritty of how to move forward and work with the I Ching in our lives. Until then, take care.